So I want to bring this back to all the way towards the, well, let's just say early 2000s. And what I mean by early 2000s, well, what I mean by is early 2000s Cartoon Network shows, particularly this show right here. And what I mean by particular show, well, I'm talking about Zatch Bell. And, well, let me just say that Zatch Bell is a good, underrated, or hidden gem, in my opinion, anime series. And it is an anime series, by the way, so yeah. But in my opinion, this show is good to watch, though. So, yeah. This show is such a good watch that it was on Cartoon Network back in the 2000s. And I'll say 2000 because it was on the 2000s, if in case you didn't know. It was on the broadcast. I would say, in my opinion, that if I remember this right, and I might have to, when I edit this out, I'll probably put like a caption right here above, right here or right here. But Saturdays were the only time where this show comes out alongside with Naruto, because it doesn't come out like, it comes out like 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. No, but like in the afternoon. But it comes out at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock, in my opinion. But that's where all the good shows start coming out, in my opinion. Because when the good shows come out in the early 2000s, that's when people my age get a little bit rambunctious and excited, because hey, let me just say, it is a good show because it had good lineups too. Cartoon Network back then was such, they had good lineups. Let's just say Ben 10, Beyblade, Bakugan. Shoot, I can't name the others of our phone. One Piece. One Piece even was in Cartoon Network, surprisingly. And Dragon Ball, and I can't name the rest. Oh, Gundam. Yeah, Gundam was definitely a part of that lineup, but I think that was mostly on Adult Swim. Yeah, on Toonami. Inuyasha, that was on Toonami. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. But let me tell you something. When you watch this show, you will see like particular pairs of Mamodo get paired up with different people. And I gotta say, I do got some favorite people in this group. I mean, you might not disagree, but you might agree or disagree with the parents I have too. So I have a list of people, and let me just say too, it's good. This is a good show, but at the same time, its episodes sucked. Like the episode count sucked. Like the rest of this series doesn't, like, I think it's like 110 the last time I checked. I might be wrong, but it was either 110 or 107 episodes. But that's where the anime ends in the dub. But oh my god, this was such a great episode series. Not even rewatching it, but it's in sub and dub too, in case you're wondering. So what teams am I talking about? What am I ranking here? Well, I'm ranking like the top 5 show or top 5 teams that like was off the rockers, in my opinion. Like these are some heavy hitters if you can read the spell back to back. But some of the partners too, on top of that, will be off the chain too, because their partners are either not human or they're just like trained in a martial arts some kind. So who am I talking about? So let's get right into it. Starting off with my first character and my first team, in my opinion, that are trained and are dead. I mean, this team didn't give two shits. I mean, these two people were brought together for a single purpose. One wanted to be king of the Mamodo. The other wanted revenge. And in order to get that revenge, she had to team up with this person. So who am I talking about? Well, we're talking about Brago and Sherry. And we all love me some Brago. I mean, this is what he looks like, by the way, which is kind of badass. And I think his shoes, in my opinion, are looking like one of those with a not steel toes shoes. Yeah, steel toes, but hey, it gets the job done. So Brago and Sherry, their Brago's main ability or magic power is basically gravity magic, which and very potent gravity magic too. And this man can even handle himself in a fight without gravity magic, which is kind of impressive all the same. He even let even Sherry knows that this is how you know they these two are a great match. Because if Brago needed Sherry's help, she would have stepped in a long time ago. Or if Sherry or Brago told Sherry that, hey, we need to end this now. I'm getting really impatient and sick of this BS I'm trying to get through. So Sherry, not Sherry, but Brago can handle himself. I mean, in total, at the end of this series, Brago has gained 20 spells. So 20 spells is when they started 20 spells. But in my opinion, this is a good team. This is a serious team that you should not mess with. Now Sherry is, well, in my opinion, is no one you should underestimate, because she can hold her own if she wanted to. She even scared Zophis, which if you don't know who that is, that's basically the Mamodo that like tried to manipulate the humans, which a little side tangent, a sidetrack real quick. But in this series, you can manipulate, or this Mamodo can manage to manipulate humans by taking away their hearts, basically, which I'm betting it's their conscience, taking away their conscience and obeying his Zophis's will, and the Mamodo too. So I can't say the Mamodo too, because the Mamodo will have their very own conscience, and they even were 1,000 years was 1,000 years too, Mamodo. Which back then, I like to say too, 1,000 years ago, Mamodo were freaking brutal, like to no point of avail. But somehow, I can't say somehow, but somehow Zophis brought him back, and here we are. So coming back to this is how Brago and Sherry teamed up, because Sherry's friend Coco, I'm trying to get this out, friend Coco got I guess manipulated or tricked by Zophis, and now they kind of out odds to each other. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, gravity magic is what I can say is a badass magic. That's all I can say, because gravity magic is super powerful. Well, that's one of the many reasons why I put Sherry and Brago and Sherry up at number one, because I like gravity magic. Second, Brago's design, I gotta admit, is badass. I can say that too. And one of those characters' personalities be like, yeah, I mean, I care, but I can wipe the floor with you anytime I want, no questions asked. So yeah, that's the main reason why I like Sherry. That's one of the main reasons why I watch this show, is because of the spell books. Because the spell books and this is a good concept, because when another trying to diverge real quick, but the main reasons why I like this show so much, and this is a good watch, because the concept of, you got these childlike, or you got children like, and then you got like grown people like, and teenagers like people getting beamed into, or teleport or whatever, to planet Earth with their books to be chosen, or whoever is the last Mamodo standing, to become the Mamodo King. The Mamodo King, whoever becomes the Mamodo King, will rule all of Mamodo, basically become like a king, like you know what I meant trying to say here. But whoever becomes the king, Mamodo King, will rule that world, basically. So yeah. However, last Mamodo 1,000 years, I think whoever won that title said, hell no, let's keep this shit going. So I'm guessing this time around, every single Mamodo from this current generation, or yeah, this current generation, is now like the new Mamodo. Now they get sent to the human world, with spell books. This time is with spell books. I think no, I think 1,000 years ago they did have spell books. Oh, wherever I'm trying. But the concept of spell books and whoever chooses their owners, they can read. That is kind of a good concept, and also it caps their power level too. So they can't use their spell books or their powers in the human world because their power line got cut off. Now the only way they can use Mamodo can use their power is from a spell book, but they have to find the owner of a spell book for them to read. And if they can't read it, then that's not their owner basically. So yeah. Also, if you ever get beat by a Mamodo or one-on-one match, which let me just be honest, this isn't even a one-on-one match. This is a battle royale. So anybody can jump in to this challenge or into a fight, no matter who they are. And another thing too, because they are around the world. So you don't know who has a book or not, spell book or not. Remember that too, because that does come into play of how I'm going to explain this to like my other team. But that's a little bit like a diverse from this topic and from this too. But now you know why. So yeah, that's the reason Braga wants to really become a Moto King. Don't know if he wants to become a kind king like Zatch is, which spoiler alert. I mean, if you haven't watched this show or you haven't read the manga, you can skip to this timeline, so I won't spoil it for you. But spoiler alert, Zatch ends up becoming Mamodo King, but it ends up happening when he did. Because if anybody else, and we would have kept doing this endless cycle of battles and battles and battles, and it's not going to stop until somebody would have common sense to stop that, right? So, anyways, that's the main reason Brago wants to become Mamodo King, because hey, one is strength and not weak. Strength and not weakness. Show them he's a top dog basically. So yeah, Cherry. Well, her only goal was to bring back her best friend and defeat Zophis. That's her. I mean, once she defeated it and defeated Zophis and sent him back, her friend Coco back. I mean, her next objective is making Brago king. So yeah. Anyways, on to the next one, and I think the next person that's kind of broken, and I'm gonna say this in a not because of the skill, but just because of pure skill. But I mean, he's a fighting machine if topping right. So it's One Ray and Lien, and put those pictures up there too, or wherever which side I put them. This is them. And I gotta say, Ray, I have to admit, teach him martial arts and kung fu. Oh boy, you know how people with that don't have to do kung fu and martial arts are a hell of a person to deal with. So Ray's abilities, and I had to search this up. Hopefully his I don't think his what was his ability. I think his energy wise kind of, yeah, I think abilities are more spiritual wise kind of, or energy based, but because all the techniques he be using are martial arts kind of magic based, because hey, that's one that his spells are a martial arts kind of magic paralysis still, so they're not elements or something. So yeah, Ray is basically martial arts based, which in my opinion you're gonna have a hard time on getting your ass kicked. Now I would defend Ray and Lien, they're this team, because they have offensive and defensive magic spells, martial arts spells that can actually redirect or block opponent's attacks. Either send them back, or kind of like, even without the martial arts abilities, martial arts spell book, he can still like defend himself using like martial arts and kung fu abilities that he was taught by Lien and Liam personally. So this man is not someone you should mess with. Also, he has a great, what can I say? What's that word? I can't remember I can't get the word out of my where I can't remember. But hey, he's not someone you should be messing with personally. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. But that's a top 5, top 3. I'm gonna make it top 3 so I can just say this video is either you like it or you don't, basically. So number 3 coming at third person is Zatch Bell and Kiyotaki Mine, which their team is with a red book. Red book is a good sign. And Zatch is basically a lightning magic, which I love magic. That's another thing I like this about the show too. On another tangent, I know, is that they scream the way they say that the spell on a book, you have to say with feeling. I don't think you supposed to say with feeling. Yeah, you got to say with feeling because that magic book is powered by like courage and believing. What did it say? Courage, believing. It was some kind of I can't remember what they said, but it is empowered by like the power of never giving up, basically, or strength or spirit. Their spirit has to, you gotta pour all your spirit into that spell book to empower it even more, which is increasing the spell output even more, making wherever magic even stronger and defeating the opponent, basically. Now, oh my goodness, what can I say about Zatch Bell and Kyo Takumi? I guess in my opinion, they make a good pair because at the beginning, when first Zatch and Kyo been first introduced, Zatch is always passing out. He even said this in the episode too, that every time he shoots out lightning, he passes out. Like he doesn't remember what happened after he passes out. So the only way Kyo can and also Zatch can't even aim. So the only way Zatch can aim correctly is Kyo doing this, reading a spell book. So he points his direction. He even says this in the anime too. So he points his direction, and that lightning, wherever Kyo points with his 2 fingers, Zatch aims that lightning towards wherever that is, wherever Kyo points, 2 fingers points to. So that's another thing too, which I liked. And then another thing is the like, oh man, I remember this one spell they used, and it was so emotion put into this too, which was the 4th spell, Bow Sakaraga. And this is what you get right here. This is what you get right here, which is a big looking dragon, lightning dragon. And oh my goodness, this dragon is such a badass. And in the manga, it gets like there's like 3 upgrades to this. Like you got like a scaly looking dragon. And then you got one that looks, and then you get one that's like bigger. Like this one out, it gets even bigger than like the other 2. That one I'm talking about is the last dragon spell is one that's like takes to like the outer space and is stronger than the other 2. So yeah, that's kind of wild if you ask me. Which I did like their spells because Zatch is basically a electrical Dragonic power known as Bao, which that's his father's name, by the way. But Bao meaning dragon, so in case you didn't know. But at the end of the series, Zatch only like the total gain of spells is like 14 spells, unfortunately. Which, in my opinion, Braga with 20 spells. Hey, I gotta say, I mean, this man made it perfectly clear he ain't meant nothing to mess with. So yeah, that's my total opinion about Zatch and Kia. I mean, anything else, I mean, they're a perfectly good coronated team, like unlike Braga and Sherry, with nothing to sneeze at. It's just, hey, I mean, that's what they are. Okay, so the 4th one I want to mention is Zatch's twin brother, which is Zenobel, and his partner Dufort. Now we get to know what these characters are about. These 2 are the biggest menace of the planet. Not planet, but there are menaces, I gotta say. Starting off with Zeno. Zeno's magic is also lightning based, and I gotta say, Zeno has I would say more than half the portion of the spell book, and also his spell book is silver, contrast to the red spell book of Zach. So yeah, that tells you a lot. Now Zeno has spells that's the same as Zach, but they pack a hell of a punch. So what I'm trying to say is that this man is nothing to sneeze at. And his partner Duford is also a person you should not be messing with, I gotta say. So his spells are basically, like I said, are similar to Zach, similar to Zach, but they're kind of different, like the polar opposite kind of different. But yeah, their spells are more different, but they're polar opposites. You know what I mean? So yeah, this man is nothing shouldn't be bragged over or be. And also they Zeno Bell also shows no mercy. I mean, this man. I mean, we get a glimpse of what this man can do in the episode, and but yeah, we get to see what this man to do, what he can do in like episode 20, and he does appear episode 20 briefly, but this man is super strong. Like I think his spell, let me look it up. I think his spells is also longer. If not, then I think his spells are okay. He only locked, I don't know how many spells he got unlocked or how many pages he got so far, but to the 20 to 14, but he's still strong as hell. I mean, shoot, it didn't even show in the episode that even like the regular spell is even super powerful than Zash. I mean, that, come on now. I mean, this is his twin brother. If you think like his other brother Zash Bell is like mediocre, like stronger, nah, the twin brothers right here, which is Zeno Bell. But hey, but let's move on to like my fifth kind of person, and I think people sleep on this type of person in my opinion. I would say the support role is kind of ass, but hey, if you partner up with anybody else, then if she partners up with anybody else, ain't nobody's gonna beat. But you have, but the play, oh, but playing the support role is good. I can tell you that. More than attack and defense, a good defense is a good off. So yeah. So my fifth person I like out of this whole, or my two partners out of this whole group is Tia and Megumi, which is this is what they look like. Now, in my opinion, they are mainly, like I said, defense magic and healing magic, which is great matchup for Zach Bell and Kia, which they're more offensive magic in there, but there's a little bit of defensive magic in there. The only defensive magic that Zach even has is Shield, basically, which that is the name, by the way, which is this big ass shield, and I think they can expand the shield if they wanted to. But I mean, look what actually happened when they did that too. I forgot what episode that they used it on, but hey, anyways, Tia, Megumi, in my opinion, are a good supporting role only because they have defensive magic and healing magic. Now, Tia only has one offensive magic. I mean, that's which is Sayoshi, but no, I might be wrong. I mean, but I might be wrong. So I was sure. Damn, can't even pronounce that name. But she only has one offensive spell, which that's good enough for me. But she has many defense, magic spells, and healing spells, which that's good enough. So yeah, few offense spells. Okay, so that was, so I was. But in my opinion, she's a good healer. What can I say? She has defense magic and healing magic. With defense magic, she has is where she placed a barrier around the opponent. And I remember this episode clearly because this was the one of those type of spells. It's like, damn, well, L. So you took you take a opponent's magic, or not opponent's magic, but you take a barrier and put it around one of your opponent's magic, and if they use a spell, that spell will come back on them or be redirected at them. Don't know if it's like 10 times the force or 20 times the power or 5 times the power, but it would hit them with their own magic basically. But yeah, that's generally what it does. 5 types of people in our 5th category. I mean, there's other characters too that are above these 5 that are stronger. Mamodo and a human partner. But I mean, you got other characters like Kachime and Fagore and Ponygon and his human partner. I mean, and then but matter of fact, you also got this character. I forgot what was his name. I can't remember his name, but if I remember, I'll put him. Yeah. But if you like this video, this rant, if you're new here, subscribe, like, and share this video if you like Zatch Bell. But it's one of my recommendations too, if you haven't seen this show, because it is good and it has been aired on Cartoon Network before, so that's how you know it's good. Alongside Naruto, by the way, Beyblade and Bakugan. So yeah, if you're new here, subscribe, like I said, like, and comment down below. What is your favorite Mamodo and human partner? And tell me why. And then see you again and see you next adventure later. So, Future Anime World Tour here. Came here from the future. So, I did forget to put this in, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in right now. But Zatch Bell did had 2 games out for video games, by the way. And they were called Zatch Bell Mamodo Battles, and that came out on 2005, about to say 4, March 24th, and it was on PlayStation 2 and GameCube, and it's a fighting game, obviously. So, yeah, and the other one is called Zatch Bell Electric Arena, and that came also out 2005, and also it's on Game Boy Advance. So, there goes some history of Zatch Bell you didn't know about, because I didn't know about that. Nor have I played it, didn't know about the game. So yeah, have fun with that. A little bit of knowledge breaking on there. So take it away, partner.